Hello, and in this episode of Eagle Springs, I've pretty much gone RV mad. For the majority of it, I do build other things other than RV parks, but I build two RV parks, one that's a more modern take on an RV park, and the second one is an older style RV park, and I actually stayed in this RV park in Williams, Arizona, in America, when I was over there. But I also build a school and two other hotels slash like residential flats. But to get into what I'm doing in the video here, this is the concrete or like asphalt RV park, and it is modelled off one in real life, but RV parks around America look very similar in the way they are made and like styled. I've noticed that a lot of modern RV parks tend to be very, like, they look very clean, very cut lines, just very nice. So I sort of went with that as much as I could within City Skylines. Clearly here I am using dirt decals to try and make a nice area for the people who rent the sites so that they can spend their time there. I didn't go with grass because we're in a more desert, so I'm imagining this dirt is more like wood chips rather than actual dirt. I don't think we've actually got any like wood chip decals on the workshop. I may be mistaken, but maybe that's something that needs to be added. But these dirt decals by Bearded Monkey fit in quite nicely in this gap, and you can see here I'm adding the like concrete slash tarmac to the area, and it wasn't perfectly flat because I was an idiot and didn't flatten out before I started. So you gotta remember, with proper asphalt you have to flatten it out, but we don't need to see me build it. So here's a little cinematic view showing the finished product after I've detailed and foliaged up the area, added in a couple like drain decals, and then obviously added in all the RVs slash caravan props. The only problem with these RVs are that the lights don't really work on them. The way that it reflects the light, it's a bit bad, but there's not much I can do really, since it is literally the only RV prop on the workshop. It's a bit of a shame. So now we're getting into the RV park that I actually stayed in while in Williams, Arizona. I mean, I said at the beginning it was an older style RV park, but it was very nice. I mean, the only reason I actually stayed in it though was because it was cheap than the other one. So take that as you will. It was cheaper and it was still nice, and they had loads of activities and stuff, and I believe they had a swimming pool and a sauna area and stuff like that, and I tried to mimic that a bit within this build. They did also have like a couple games, like the horseshoe game and stuff like that. I couldn't really mimic that. I mean, that's really too small of a scale to do, but I added a playground and some stuff like that. But what I did here, instead of doing asphalt, I wanted to do a more gravel texture, but the only problem is the gravel texture does look very repeated, and it didn't really look correct. Like, viewing aerial satellite view of this RV park showed that there's obviously a lot of wear in where the RVs drive through the gravel. So I used the wear decals by Ronix to sort of simulate this is like the area where the RVs and the cars drive a lot, and I actually thought it looked pretty nice in the end. I was a bit put off at the start, thinking this isn't going to look right, this is going to look strange and weird, but in the end I actually liked it more than the asphalt one that I made. But maybe that's just because like I have some sort of attachment, like I stayed here personally, but who knows. And now I'm going through adding some foliage into areas. Now in real life there is little foliage on any of the RV plots, because I imagine you'd have to water them, and that just costs money. So what they normally just give you is a bench and an electricity like connector, and also your sewage and outflow pipes. So I add a little brick container which would contain everything, and I had a nice bench just to finish it off. We've got a couple more cinematic shots of the finished build, just trying to show more of it off. I may try and do some more live views of the game, but we'll see. Also, you notice that in the cinematics and in now you can see the procedural objects box. You can't get rid of that at the moment, but in the next update that will be fixed. Hopefully the next update will be out when I've posted this video, but we will see. Now we're getting on to one of the schools. This is going to be the biggest school in the area, and I'm trying to get the buildings right, trying to use Move It to move around different buildings to get the sort of shape I want to use. There are car parks at the back here, and I know I could have used Prop It Up to maybe remove them, but I just find it so much of a pain to use Prop It Up, and I actually don't think I had the like Prop It Up blank prop that enables you to do that, so I just ended up covering them with those smaller like out shack buildings. That's not the correct word, but those like they sort of throw them up, and they're sort of temporary buildings where they can teach people in. Now a lot have happened in a very short period of time, so there I was drawing out on the surface painter like a little area where the kids can play that would be fenced off for maybe the younger kids, and right now I'm doing the sort of tennis courts and some of the like older areas of the school that is maybe been changed or abandoned, like a couple of concrete pads. Maybe that could be sort of like the is it the recess area? I believe it's the recess area in America, but it would be a I can't even remember the English word for recess now. Just a break? I don't know. Why have I gone blank on that? Oh well, I've gone completely blank. But being a American school, this is also like it's a mixed school. It's a high school and a elementary school mixed together. So I added in a fair amount of parking, like any American place. It will have a fair amount of parking, but it doesn't have too much because it's literally right inside the town. Now I don't know how much Americans have to drive everywhere, but it is very close to the entire residential area, so it doesn't really need a massive area for cars to park, just enough for people maybe who live a bit further away, a bit out of town, maybe in some of the not suburb areas, but there's a couple of like outspread communities around the general area. I've been using this concrete decal for a lot of builds recently because I like the way it looks, the clean way. I imagine it as a sort of patio slab. It would be nice if we maybe had some more different types of those concrete ones, maybe some that were damaged or a bit more dirty, but they're perfectly way like I say. Those look very nice. Now this is just a very simple baseball diamond. I've never played baseball before. I've only ever played softball, so I think I got this right. But at the start, I started doing the bases, and I placed them all wrong, and it was very out of order. So I had to straighten them all up, get them all nice, and then use the road decals just to mark out the general like way that a baseball diamond works. I think this is very close to a normal baseball diamond, and use the technique of spinning the white line in a circle to get the pitcher's mound, I believe it's called. But like I said, with the gravel texture is a bit repeating, So I go with decals over the top, and it does look a bit messy, but I prefer it in still images. Like when it moves around, it tends to look a bit weird, but in nice still shots, it looks very nice, and it looks like it's a very worn, very used baseball diamond. And next to the baseball diamond, I do a small, like, staff car park area, maybe a maintenance area, because there is that shed next to the baseball diamond, which I would assume would have a sports equipment, maybe maintenance stuff for the groundskeepers. I was thinking about adding proper car parking spaces, but yeah, it didn't really feel right in that area. This was going to be just like a very lax parking area where people can park where they want. Like, they either work for the school or they're not going to be there for that long, so it doesn't really matter. I know these cracks to the like concrete road, just to give it a bit of something to make it stand out. They do repeat a bit because I just use the prop line tool to draw a line. I may go back and change that so they don't repeat as much. They just look weird when they repeat. Very, very odd. So here I am, just placing a load of cars down, placing some vans that I'm imagining are dropping off supplies. Maybe the school is having a small upgrade to it, just improving some of the facilities inside. That's why they've got some of those cables and plenty of boxes. Now this is the school yard area, so I'm using a lot of the vanilla like playground equipment, and I'm also using these circle props from Creative Dex's series, and Dekaza made these circles quite a while ago, and I've used them in another build that I've done, and I thought they're fitting very nicely in this like playground area. Made the playground stick out from the dirt, otherwise it would just look a bit boring, like just a bit weird. Now here I am looking for like grasses and stuff to copy and use again. I do place all this down, but on a live stream I did get it pointed out to me that there's a bit too much grass, and I do remove a lot of it, but I did like the way it looked, so I left it in the video, but it does get all removed. And I do also add a football pitch, like an American football pitch, in this area here that I'm detailing right now. It's a very worn American football pitch, because I'm imagining this place, it's hard to upkeep a nice lawn like in the semi-desert. So now we get on to the more residential, more like hotel. I haven't decided what these are. Maybe this one is the hotel that I'm building right now, and the other one is a flat/residential building. But I built these during a live stream, and they turned out very nice. They looked very, very new. That's the style I was going for, because in real life there are buildings similar to this here, and they are very new. They're very like modern, you can see that. So that was the style I went for. Also, I haven't mentioned it through the whole video, but you may have noticed the quality is a bit less, and sometimes there are glitches within the video. That's because my graphics card died. I had a 780 Ti, and while I was doing another live stream, not this one but another one, my computer completely crashed. So I rebooted it, and it worked alright for a bit, and then that night I was on Skibeth's live stream, and it completely died. Just halfway through, my whole computer crashed, shut down, and I was running on integrated graphics for a bit. So what I've done is replaced my 780 Ti with an older card that I had lying around from before, which is a 580, and it's just not as good. there's a lot of lag, a lot of like visual glitches that I've noticed that have appeared in the recordings. So sorry for those. I know many people who really have watched to this point probably already know that my graphics card has died. But hopefully soon I will be getting like a replacement computer. We'll see whenever it comes. I will be getting it, and hopefully the quality will increase. But for the time being, quality will be a bit lower. I will mention this in other videos, but I'm sorry about that. It's the best I can do at the moment. So here's the finished product of the build. We're looking at the back end, looking over the RV park there, just beyond these two hotels / residential building, onto the downtown area. And imagine up those where you see those roads, there's going to be all a very nice residential, not sprawl, but a healthy population. I'm not sure what the population of Williams is, but mine will be don't know, maybe 50,000, but we'll see. I'm not sure when the next episode of Eagle Springs will be coming out. It may be 3 weeks, it may be a week. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin.